Well, that was the wrong game. Sorry about that, everybody. Hi, we are back. As per usual, here's our Patreon, here's our media, and here is our sub goal. If you do want to help us reach all of those goals, we are very far away, so everybody, I'm scared that the mime goal may not be achieved. And sorry. Now I don't have to buy the cosplay. But anyways. Honorath, I would like you...
Sure.
There we go. Oh, wait, you already rolled. You got a 10. Fine. My bad.
I thought you were going to give me a second try, man.
Nah, not
Kinda
yet.
like
Not
the
yet.
old cliffhangers where it looks bad and then they come back and it was actually they didn't. go
Well,
off.
now I know for the second investigation that we can take that one.
Nah, we're good. So yeah, you're all standing around. Ace, you've noticed that little difference in Sir Uric.
I'm just gonna keep paying attention to Sir Uric and Dorzum.
Alrighty.
Not like overly like staring, but
So you start hovering over top of doors. So, now that you're all here, you found the end to this maze, or the center of it. Depends on perspective. What would you all like to do? You look up at the large monolith of a plateau with a small landing and a larger canopy over top of that, kind of creating a vast shadow and respite from the rain around you.
Right. Any ideas? Anyone? I'm not really sure what exactly we're supposed to do here.
Well, I'm going to do a once around to check for any cracks.
Ace is gonna go ahead and walk over to the monolith and how tall is it?
It goes up about 40 feet or so, and then it has the plateau, and then a larger canopy over top of that, probably 20 feet above that. Or no, only 10 feet above that. So think of it like a mushroom stalk, but there's a gap
Okay.
between the stem of the mushroom and the
And the top.
cap.
And the top is keeping everything from all the rain from coming down.
As well as shrouding this monolith.
I guess I'm gonna get on Storm and see if I can fly around the monolith and study the carvings and writings.
You roll your investigation. 18. There are many different fascinating names written on this month. A couple of names that you would be able to note, being somebody who is so incredibly worldly. You understand a few names from people of your home country, or your home continent. I guess country, yeah. People who have been influential in the past over there in some regard or another. But they all seem to be just markings, notes, individuals, and names.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and fly out around the canopy and kind of go up above and see if it's just sky between the... If it's just sky, if there's anything above the canopy that we can't see.
You fly above it, and the canopy seems to just be there to shroud this entire area. Above it is just the storm and the clouds.
Okay, I'll fly back down and land and dismount. Well, just a beautiful sky with a storm coming in above. That's about all I saw up there.
Well, what exactly do we know about this place?
Nothing.
Right.
Could
well,
I-
I guess we should try and find out something then.
Could I climb to the top of it using my spider climbing boots to, like, up over the lip, like you said?
So you're climbing up the monolith where there's the plateau before the lid.
Yeah, I want to see if there's anything on top of the plateau.
All right. You climb all the way up there, and there appears to be a podium. In the middle of all the shrubberies and green that seem to be loosely growing in, but it's definitely not like an intense overgrowth. There's just a gray stoned podium.
Can I take a look at it?
Investigation.
Come on, anything better than a 2.
I'll do it.
This appears to be a very, very old. It has that slight lip at the bottom of it, where somebody would place their notes while speaking publicly. It's crafted from a foreign stone. It looks completely different than all of these others, but similar to the stones you saw as you were coming in, attached to all of the broken statue. Like that type of thing. Though it doesn't have that same, like, greenish hue that it gets from years and years of being in a very humid environment. It seems very untouched, unscathed.
Anything resting on it, or is it empty?
Empty.
Can we also see the podium from where we are, or did he?
No, you'd have to climb up there to.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Could I attempt to use my psychometry on it?
Sure, it doesn't work.
Okay.
So
Not everything is evil, Konorath.
Hey, it could have been touched by evil in the past.
Sure.
Could have been desecrated at some point.
Sure.
I'm just gonna walk into sort of like the central area, if you will.
Of the water?
No, I'm trying to wrap my head around how the whole place looks.
It's a circle.
All right.
monolith in the top.
Think like a nail, like a nail.
Right.
There is a very tall monolith, very wide monolith, in the center of all of this water, with a few different pathways in here from other large plateaus that seem to breach out of the water and surrounding the area.
Okay, but what does it look like?
I'm not repeating myself again.
No. So, who are on top of sort of like the plateau itself?
Konorath.
Central. Right. So he's the only one up there.
Yep.
Is it easy to just climb up there, or?
Not easy, but he had magic.
Right.
You could certainly try.
Any markings on the podium?
On a 28 investigation, no.
You needed a 29.
That's the best I can do, man. That's a natural 20.
If there was more details, I probably would have given to you if it was possible.
And in that case, he would put his hand on the podium and mutter under his breath, "Lady, we are here. What is next?"
Not receiving response. But Sir Yurik, are you going to try to scale the side of this monolith?
Monoloth.
Yeah, monolith.
How tall is it? Did you say?
40 feet
All right.
from the surface of the water.
And it's just a flat surface.
Up there, I mean, you can't really tell, but presumably.
Yeah, I mean on the side of the monolith.
Yeah, it looks solid. Like a cylinder.
So, yes,
You
there's
are
no,
in full.
no like handholds or anything like that.
Oh, no.
No, I'm not gonna try and climb it. Well, I guess if we were to put a rope, I'm just speaking out loud to the rest of the group. If we were
Hang on to
to
the rope.
get a rope around it, we could tighten it. I mean, try and scale it that way. Kenneroth, what do you see up there?
Podium.
All right, that's it.
Could I?
Well,
Just,
I I have a way of trying to. There's a spell that lets me peer into the history of the place, as it were. I just need to get closer to it.
Could I try clearing away some of the brush, the overgrowth?
The grass
Well, does the grass look like it was intentionally placed or like grew there?
through there.
Yeah, could I try and move some and see if there's anything underneath it?
Do you start digging? That's what you do when you remove grass. You dig.
Yeah, sure. Just to see if there's anything underneath it might have grown over.
You start ripping up patches of the grass and dirt.
And-
up.
Yeah, and there's nothing there. I'll just put it back.
Okay. There's nothing there immediately.
When I had that vision that initially led us to all these locations, did it? I don't remember exactly what it showed us here, other than it was the sea. Did that have any hints to this location, to what to do here? I honestly don't remember. It was so long ago.
You remember seeing an archway. The archway was set inside of a very large-looking structure.
Has my detect magic gone off yet?
Yes. Bing! That monolith is very magical.
What about our new friend Ace?
Ace, what do you have on you that's magical?
I was unmuted and I muted myself. His shield and his cloak and the saddle on the Pegasus.
And his personality.
And his personality.
I have an idea.
There's more than that on you that's magical.
All right, let me double check.
Well, it's only what I can see. If he's got something stored in a bag or something.
Right, but you still see the outlines of it, so.
And his book,
Okay. Book, cape, shield.
which goes with the other message I was sending you, Joe.
Yeah.
Can I check?
Okay. So this little fly is dancing around. I see shiny Ace, shiny monolith, and I hear Yurik talking about getting up there. And I go, oh, why didn't you just say so? And I reach into my bag and I pull out the old puff pack and I slap it on Yurik.
Yurik, take this book to Conroth. It might help. The book that led us all of those visions.
I'd be careful up there. That entire thing is very potent. Yurik.
And Ace is just gonna start singing a song while they're doing whatever they're doing.
And Yurik with BRB, so I'll say he takes the rope and flies up there, Konorath, where Yurik notices you, and the book, sure, where Yurik notices you, like, kind of like patching, like, just pushing the grass back into place.
Something.
Dark side.
Ah, look, podium. Let's tie the rope off to that.
No, do not.
Suppose we can stab it round. Are you back, Prissa? Okay. They're still investigating the thing. The only people who are up there right now are Konorath, Yurik, and Yurik has the puff pack on him, which is fly. And welcome back, Sir Yurik. You took the puff pack. You took the backpack. You flew up there. You tied off the rope, or you're trying to tie off the rope, and you took the doors in with. You took the book from Dorzen. Wow.
I just want to establish
The
this
horse.
we have a flying horse, a flying cleric, and we're
We already had a flying horse.
I mean,
well, a questionable flying horse, and now we have a flying cleric, and we're tying a rope.
Yeah.
What are we tying a rope for?
I don't know.
I'm asking everybody else.
Prissa would probably also ask the same thing.
Could
Put the book on the shelf.
Dorzen, you don't know there's a shelf up.
I thought Conroth told us that. We yelled out.
I did
Oh,
yell
okay.
there was a podium.
That's what got me the idea of putting the book there.
Oh, in that case, like, I would ask, can I put the book on the podium, Björk?
Sure.
Shot in the dark. Why
All right.
I'm just
I'll-
gonna start casting the spell.
I'll put
Oh.
the book that Dorzen gave Yurt on the podium and open it up.
Look. It is beautiful. It is very fine leather as well, and the podium seems to gleam brightly as it is there.
And I'll read from the book, see if anything's changing in there.
What languages do you understand, Conoroth?
Common and Goliath? Or Common and Giant?
Cannot read the book.
Oh wait, is this book the same book that is Prissa knows?
Krissa
doesn't-
scoffed.
Ah, God.
Jero, I'm just gonna ask for one quick thing. Before my detect magic went away, did I see what type of magic was emanating from the pillar?
Yeah,
The school-
divination.
Divination. All right.
Brissa, come up here.
I'm already here. Yeah, and Prissa would I guess approach.
Wait,
the
Prissa, you got
podium.
up there? How?
Oh, well, if not flying on doors and
Dorzen
making
can't
herself
fly.
Yeah, Dorzen hovers. He doesn't fly.
Oh yeah, she'll make Dorzen and herself fly.
Already. Dorzen, you
But
fly up there.
also whoever else doesn't have it, because I think I can do 3. No, it's.
Well, if you want to
yeah,
use
just-
all your spell slots, feel free.
Yeah,
But you
let's
don't
not
even
do
have
that.
to waste the spell slot on you. If you just make Dorzen fly, you can be the first level.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, she'll just make Dorzen fly.
Sorry, her character would know that.
Yeah. I mean, I was okay with you using 5 third level or higher spell slots. But yes. So, one by one, Dorzen, do you bring everybody up there?
Sure.
Makes it
why
a
not?
lot easier. Cool. You're all up there.
I'll
Congratulations.
give her
You
the
managed to
incest
climb.
his name.
Great achievement.
Yeah. But I would call then Prissa over here to look at the book since it's a language I can't understand.
How wide is this area where the podium is?
About 50 feet in total. It's
Oh,
pretty
okay, so
big.
yeah,
it's very
I'll
vast.
be up there
And the podium
storming
is in
out
the
there.
dead center of it.
That book
So-
was in Primordial, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
The
Okay, so
book
go
was a
ahead.
primordial.
Yeah. It's the one that you took from the Raven's Nest.
No, I know where we got
Guarded by
it.
a
It's just...
fire titan-ish thing.
But no, wait, do you mean written in primordial?
It was written in Primordial. Yeah.
Okay, no, I misunderstood when you said that because I thought you said it was literally a primordial.
Maybe one time it is, paper.
But yeah, no, Prissa would go with Canoth to approach the podium that's now glowing because of this book. And she'll try to read it.
Start reading from the book. Do you speak Primordial?
I do not, but I can cast.
Dorzen
detect,
will go up to
comprehend
the
languages.
book and see if anything's changed.
What were you saying, Prissa, before you got interrupted?
She would probably cast comprehend languages, but that's a ritual to do.
So you take 10 minutes to start doing that. Okay. Dorzen, you walk up to it and start reading?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I didn't realize I was the only person in this party that spoke Primordial.
And as Prissa's doing the ritual, she's just kind of wincing at the horrible grammar structure and, the story structure of it.
Dorzen?
Yes.
Begin reading it. Out loud, speaking the words. The podium seems to dull down.
So originally, it was there. A book was put on top, brightened up, and then speaking happened, and it started dimming.
Those are events that just transpired. Yeah.
Okay, just clarifying.
Maybe Dorzen's not the one who's meant to read it.
So did Prissa finish ritual casting?
Not yet. 10 minutes takes
Okay,
longer
yeah.
than just one person attempting one thing.
Do you mind if I try to read something at the podium?
Go ahead.
Can you take the book with you?
I
And-
will pick up the book and off the podium.
So Ace is gonna go up to the podium and take out his book and put it on the podium.
Honorath, quickly, roll me a perception check. You notice the symbol on the spine of the book. Same as your symbol.
Okay.
And I'm gonna open up the book and start singing instead of reading from it, singing.
All right, so are we doing hymns or are we doing the Brothers Grimm type of stuff? What part of this book are you?
If we're doing hymns,
The-
Prissa will do the chorus.
All right, the hymns, yeah.
All right, cool. What are these hymns that you're reading, Ace? You're playing a bard. You got a lot of improvisation to do.
Surrounding.
He's singing of knowledge that was once known and since forgotten, and now it's being searched for. And when the knowledge is found, it spreads throughout the world like magical plants coming up and blossoming and blooming forth.
As he is reading this book, you all notice the podium comes lit again. Starts gleaming, starts shining, and the grass around you starts shifting from that beautiful green to a more intense blue all around your feet. There is a wind starting to pick. Prissa, your forehead feels almost like you have a migraine growing, but it's not painful. It's just like the presence of that throb against it.
And
Is this still? Am I still doing the comprehend language, or did I?
If you
finish?
want to keep virtually casting, you can. I'm just letting you know that you feel this thing.
Yeah. So, I guess I would have noticed that they did change the books out. So I'll stop the comprehend language and join Ace at the podium to, I guess maybe. I guess like I said, do the chorus if he's singing this story that's in the book.
You get closer towards the podium, and you kind of have to like jump up to read it.
Yeah, is it in common or what language is the book in? Since I'm probably still next to the podium.
Ace.
some parts of it are in common and some are in Sylvan. This part is in common.
Okay.
I only know the common ones.
And then Ace is going to move forward to another hymn that talks about the windows and doors that can be open as you open a book and the knowledge comes forth.
Prissa. That stone on your forehead detaches itself from you and begins floating down.
Oh, Prissa will let it.
It goes down the side of the monolith.
Wait. The monolith. That's the thing
That
we're
you're all
reading from.
standing
Okay.
on.
40 feet, we're 40 feet up on the monolith.
Wait, so is it going down in like a bad way, like it fell off somehow, or it's
No,
going down
it detached
like
and it's floating down.
Oh, Prissa will follow it.
You get over to the edge. Dorzin's the only one with flying right now, other than Sir Yurik.
If I see Prissa going away, I'll help her down. It looks like she's going to go down, so I can spider climb.
Sure.
Kanoath, can you hold me while we follow that?
Of course. And I'll walk her down.
It's very easy. As the stone kind of hovers there at the end, you watch as it goes up against the monolith and melds into it. Everybody at the top, I need you to give me a dex save.
Damn it. Would have to be Dex. Oh, never mind.
Great.
So I think it's confirmed just by the rolls so far that Ace is the chosen one.
Don't
I'm
forget
just having a
Mitch.
really good day.
Oh,
Bitch manages. That's 4 people. We're missing 2.
Well, I mean, Chris
Oh
and
yeah, 2 of you
Counteroffer-
are down there. Yeah. This entire platform starts shaking aggressively with all of you standing here, and it starts crumbling apart as you all start scattering to the edges of it, moving further and further away. Ace, instead of running away, you just hold onto the podium as you watch the rest of this entire area crumble down, and on top, the only thing left is a 2-foot square around the podium that you're currently straddling with your body, with your book on top of it, and everybody else has stumbled and fallen down into the waters. However, it's easy enough for you to... Sir Yurik, you do not fall into the water, you're on it. It's easy enough for all of you just to get up back to the top. I know you have things, people, I'm just narrating right now.
No, we can fly.
Yes, you can fly, Dorset. I'm just narrating right now. So, the monolith that was previously there has crumbled away to an incredibly large archway. Sitting on top of it is this podium that you all recognize, and the symbol of the knowing mistress is right underneath it. As you all see, what Dorzen and Ace have both seen only once before, this beautiful entryway to an unknown world.
I take it my spell gets interrupted.
Your what?
My spell?
Were you ritually casting something too?
I began to cast Legend Lore earlier.
Ah, yeah, that gets interrupted.
Counteroff, something's going on
And
up
everyone
here.
just had to go poking around.
I'll take Prissa back up so we can to see the entryway. Yeah. Since
Is it-
spider climb.
Well,
Is everyone
there
okay?
is no platform. There is
Mama,
no walls. There is now an archway.
Yeah. Take her up to the archway.
Guys, can
Yeah,
we
so you just walk up.
take it a little bit slower here? I'm trying to find out something, and now I just wasted 500 gold and a spell slot.
Oh, it didn't waste it. It just got interrupted. It wasted
Oh,
the
okay.
spell slot, not the gold.
250 too.
Ouch.
So yeah,
yeah.
Just to make sure I got this right. So there was a monolith that crumbles down, but now it's an arch that's from the ground, make it kind of like the
water, from the water.
from the water. And I'm on top, so I'm gonna grab my book, and it's 40 feet down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna. Ace says,
If you want,
What
you
a-
could slide down the arch.
okay, yeah. So Ace will. Ooh, how exciting and fun! How beautiful and wondrous! And Ace is going to slide down with. Bet they're falling already.
You splash into the water. Yeah, Sir Yurik, the only thing you have to do is regather the things as they've scattered around.
Well, and now we know. And knowing is half the battle.
What's the other half then?
Oh, the story. The
Well,
wonders.
We don't know as much as we could.
Well, shall we head in then?
I think we should. It's time for book 2.
All right. If Prissa allows it, Canarth will carry her in through the archway.
Now, Prissa, you have lost the Ion Stone.
All right, so I'll unattune that and etc. Going back to that 9 charisma.
You all look at this fantastically large archway with the blue and purple shimmering light emanating from it. It almost looks like a sea of stars out there as you approach closer. Honorath and Prissa moving in first. They disappear from sight.
doors and follow suit.
Ace is just gonna smile a wide grin, holding the book to his chest, embracing it, and walk through.
Jimmy, Yurik?
Yeah, I'll walk through.
All right. Magum will also approach closer and drift in. Jimmy, did you confirm that you're going in yet?
Yeah, I'll swim and get back to solid land somehow, and then continue in the archway.
There's the boat.
Yep. Which, for a halfling rowing a boat, yeah, that's fun.
Well, you have Ouch. He could do half. You could do the other.
Not quite sure that's how Ouch works. But yeah, we make it.
All right. So after you all, one by one, drift inside, you feel a lightness surrounding you. A very, very comforting presence in this location. Though you all feel like you are free falling with nothing to hold on to, nothing to... You're floating through this large void with just specks of light surrounding everything. And as you all continue falling, off in the distance, you see that you are not falling directly down, but straight and down at a diagonal. And you also see that there appears to be an island here, made of solid stone, beautiful, intricately carved shelves, and books lining everywhere. As you all, one by one, land onto this platform, you look behind you, and it's a sheer drop about 5 feet away. You don't see anything down beneath you, and you don't see anything above you except that door, that archway that you all just passed by. The first of you there, Conaroth and Prissa, see everybody else descending behind you, one by one. Jimmy rowing in on the boat as he's going.
So it's like a water ride for Hit Jimmy.
Somewhat, yeah. But then you're all landed there. You look in front of you, and there is a single table with 7 chairs, 3 on each side and 1 at the head. There are 4 large bookshelves surrounding this table and chair. There's enough room to walk around the podium, but past the, or not podium, walk around this platform. Past that, it is void. Just specks of light and...
I will walk over to one of the chairs on the side then.
Prissa will follow suit, but also just kind of be looking around for the knowing mistress.
Ace is gonna go sit on one of the chairs and just start to pray, thankfulness.
I should reiterate that there's only 6 chairs, 1 at the
Oh.
head, 5 on each side, and then a beanbag.
Well, we know who that's for.
Now, knowing that, then Prissa is going to make the assumption that we're to sit at this table, and she'll take a seat near the beanbag.
Everybody else? Sit.
Yes.
One of us will have to stand, though, if Mitch is with us.
Mitch does not sit down.
Oh, okay.
He seems to be just looking at the bookshelves and reading through the spines, covers. Once you've all sat there, You notice the chair at the end of the table pulls out, and materializing in a long purple and blue robe is an incredibly old silver-haired woman with pointedly purple eyes. She's much larger than any of you in this room as she materializes and just leans against the table, crossing her fingers and looking at you.
Tears of joy just start to stream down Ace's face.
Prissa stiffly kind of like stands in her chair and bows to her.
No. Sit down.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh?
Yeah. Okay.
How about the ghost? No.
At that moment, just like everyone does the classic slap on the back of Yurik's head.
The entire table. Whack, 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 whack. Ouch with the paddle. Just. Are you not joining us, Magum? Oh, I'm just here to tag along and help them. I'm not a part of your dealings at all. Nods. I have to say, Nissa, very happy that you found your way here. Panarath, thank you for guiding from the shadow.
You're welcome, my lady.
Ace, I look forward to the next.
Thank you, mistress. That means so much to me.
And all of you notice as the three of them are sitting there that tiny little crescents appear on their foreheads.
Canaroth and just Ace or
And Persa?
everyone? Oh, okay.
Nope,
and
just the
Persa.
three of you, though.
Canaroth, you have a symbol on your head.
So do you.
And you are an emissary of the
Jimmy?
mistress?
He's still new to all of this.
Jimmy, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to the woman.
I am.
Oh.
Jimmy's met a god.
Yurik just immediately falls to the ground on his knees.
The moment you try scooting your chair, she waves her hand and you scoot back in. That is not necessary, Yurik. I am not that type of deal. Though I appreciate the enthusiasm. You came here, your own strong will, so you may talk to me freely and as an equal.
And well, we're sorry to bother you, but it's just I'm sure you already know there is a being in the.
You may
in the
speak
eye-
his name here.
Volvic in the Ivyheart thicket has come back, and Vox Machina is keeping him at bay, but only for so long, and we want to find a way to stop him. We know of a ritual that would bind my friend Dorzen and his fate together, and I wanted to ask you, as the knowing mistress, if you knew if there was a better method?
I am sorry, Priscilla. The better method you speak of is not within my realm of possibility. Oh,
May
maybe. I'm not as powerful as I once was. My influence is shrunken down to soft circle. Small, traveling. You've witnessed firsthand the danger, what it means to be with me, my pursuit. She looks at you, Dorzen. I apologize. However, your queen told me that that was necessary. How is she?
Well, it's hard to judge emotion. If that makes sense.
So she hasn't changed.
She's always been like that, I guess.
As long as I've known her.
She did seem remorseful after what happened.
Knowing mistress, I was just wondering. I remember the story I read when we were at the archives in the Shadowfell. But quick thing, Jero. Sorry, just one thing I should ask: is it okay to mention that here, of all places? Because this is a place of knowledge, anyways,
You
and
have
this is the
to
knowing
ask her.
mistress.
I will
Okay.
not tell you. You have to role play these things out. Don't
Okay,
just
in
ask
that
me
case,
for metagaming knowledge.
all right, sorry. I wasn't thinking about that at
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
But I guess before I ask that, may I speak about what we learned in the Shadowfell? We were told not to, but this is a.
Everyone may speak freely here. There is no information that should be hidden in my. However,
Well-
that is also a warning. Her eyes drift over to what everybody now knows is Magum, not Mitch. There is no deception in my world. He continues
can-
reading through books.
I do a quick
He's letting him read
insight.
books?
Yeah.
Can I do a quick insight check on whether that means like we literally cannot lie, or just lies will be?
Incite this god.
You're
Sure.
insight checking a god. What?
Sure.
I mean,
Prissa,
someone's
do
gotta
it.
do it at
do
some
it.
point.
Do it.
Jero, can I ask what does Jimmy know of Ioun, if anything? Because I was under the impression nothing.
So, first, let me answer Prissa. Prissa, Ioun does not lie. That is directly against her dogma, which you now know about. And that was a statement of deception in here is not allowed. That is a direct violation of her rules, her commandment. If you lie, that's a big no-no.
Okay.
And she is a god of neutral origin, not good.
Oh no, I'm aware.
That's mostly for everyone else in the party. Jimmy. From your time with them, you know she's big on information passing from one person to another. She encourages the sought knowledges of the world in every expression of what it is, and believes that only through understanding can people move forward with their lives.
So basically, Jimmy's patron saint.
Eh.
To an extent.
But that's about
What?
all you've gleaned from them.
What exactly are you the god of?
Knowledge.
I've never really heard of you, though.
Because I must stay hidden. My enemies seek to kill me since I am still weak from the calamity.
Why would you hide knowledge, though?
I do not. Those that wish to kill me hide it. Everybody else. I want you to know everything. I want you to discover what your heart seeks.
But if people don't know about you, then that doesn't help. That
I have ways around that. She gestures to Conoroth and Ace. People to help. Without revealing where I am.
just to be clear too, she's not a presence in Vasselheim, correct? She
She is
doesn't
not.
Have like a
Well,
temple.
she's
That
not
you're
a
aware
known
of.
presence in Vasselheim. Go with
Okay.
that, yeah.
Why aren't you known in Vasselheim?
I am. Just not for the public,
But why?
because if they know, my enemies seek them. By following my flock, everybody who works alongside me would be attacked mercilessly.
Knowing Mistress is an example of those sort of enemies, the ones that took Dorzen when we finished the trial.
The agents that work with Vorvik.
Jimmy, do you remember the song that I was singing when we met earlier today?
I remember you were singing, yeah?
It was about the servant that was in love with his mistress, and he couldn't find her, and he went to look all over to find her, and at the end he finally found that book and wept tears of joy.
I had a sneaking suspicion it was like that, which didn't. It's no offense, Ace. Sorry, that made it make you seem a little bit more suspicious.
Oh, no worries. My job is to help spread knowledge.
And how is the tour going?
Oh, fabulous! I'm so glad you asked. And I met these wonderful, unique individuals that have so much turmoil and angst, and yet potential. And it's going very well, thank you.
Now, I must make sure the two of you are aware. She looks at Dorzen and Yurik. As you are faithful for deity, and out of respect to them, I have allowed you to come, though you will not remember.
But Jimmy will.
Jimmy will. You rolled 21.
Wait a minute. Magnum's more trustworthy than us?
I think it's because he made a save.
Maybe.
Oh.
He's more charismatic than you.
That's very true.
Well, alright,
Is for the safety of yourselves, your goddesses, and my...
fair enough. Well, I guess we should make the most of it then, Dorzen. Although...
You all seek different knowledges. I shall keep my gate open, but just for an evening. Any longer, those that have been searching for me may find their way. I am not strong enough to keep them at.
Is that those people in the longship we saw earlier?
He looks at Ace. Was that them?
There was a longship that seemed to be from my dream, 80 feet long.
Then
Or
she
it's lower than-
nods at you. I am not omnipotent. None of us gods are.
Oh, I
So-
suppose.
Do you know who they were? Though, according to Dorzen, they seemed very militant.
They are. But you just need to know that they are my enemy. They
So-
work for a deity that is better forgotten.
Right. I guess we should not know the name of this deity then.
It's safer for you all if you do.
how can we help you? I mean, I for one would like to see more truthfulness and honesty in the world.
And knowledge.
Well, yes. I suppose. Although knowledge can be used for, well, bad things.
It can
In the
be.
wrong hands. Oh, sorry.
But the only people who use knowledge for bad things are those that do not have all.
Agreed.
That is what my enemies seek. Partial truths, half lies. Encouraging you to a train of thought instead of allowing you to discern your own.
So if we only have an evening, we should probably get started as soon as we can then.
To make this easier on all of you, ask me a question, and I will point you to a section of the library. Any question your heart desires. Anything you've ever wanted. Truth, knowledge, even the forbidden ones. But you each have one.
Will the knowledge stay with us, even though me and Dorson will not remember this place?
It will not stay with you, but with those if you express it to them. Jimmy, I am surprised with you. I did not expect you to be able to feel this place as you do.
Knowing Mistress
Ayun.
Ayun, if that's the case, may you please point me in the direction so where I may learn the knowledge of the ritual of, let me check my notes here so I can remember the name of it.
I don't believe it was ever given a name.
Ritual of Perseverance.
She nods. She gestures to her left, and you watch as a raised platform appears and about 200 rows of bookshelves stretch outward.
Thank you, ma'am. And Prissa will get go in that direction, but then before she really heads out, she'll turn the rest. This is a great chance for everyone to learn what they want. So while I'm doing that, you should all maybe take the opportunity to take advantage of the situation.
I suppose I'm just trying to. I don't know what to ask for.
Magum approaches closer towards her and begins whispering in her while covering his.
Does he still beat my passive?
You would have to actively perceive this.
Can
You could attempt to perceive it.
I roll a perception?
Yeah, you endorse it.
Okay.
Isn't that a kind of deception he's doing?
It might be a great story.
Only 16.
Not high enough.
That's what I thought.
I actually have to roll for him. Okay. Ace, you pick up a couple of the words. Lanto. Arvin.
talking about carving pumpkins at Atlanto. Oh, Miss Ayun, may I? You point me in the right direction. Does the tome or book that I'm looking for have a name that I should look for, or is it?
No.
Um,
The information is spliced together through those tomes down. I trust you should be able to find it.
I will.
She
And with
waves
that,
her
Percy-
hand, and Magum walks down a different area and starts with the very first book on the shelf and begins reading. She looks at everybody else.
Counterarth is thinking because there's a lot he could ask for, but he has.
You have one question.
It's
Yep.
like
Because you
asking-
only
is
have
your-
time. She only has time to answer one of them.
Well, here's a question for someone if they're interested. Are you single?
Ha ha ha.
You know the question I want to ask.
Not. I am not omnipotent.
Well, I can't ask the one that I want to then.
Ask anything you want, Jimmy. You're allowed to know anything. Information is a good thing. What you do with it is what can change.
I still can't ask the question I want to. How can we stop Yurik?
Yurik or Vorvik?
Jorvik.
No, we know.
How can we
it's
stop
Yurik.
Yorick? He's
She points at the
Burned.
void. Just points at the void.
I'm here to
Jimmy's
just
Sparta
burn
kicks him
down the
off.
library.
Ah, yes, book burning, a common thing among Sarenrae followers.
She gestures down the same area that Priss is moving. Now, if you wish to ask a different one, then just do.
I'll ask it now and you don't have to answer it. Why are gods so selfish? And I walk away and start
Aw,
looking at the books.
Nods.
I have an idea of what I want to ask, but I'm not sure. Does Doris have one before I do it?
Dorzen's probably gonna have to go last, man, because
You don't have
Chris is
to.
already looking up the ritual. I'm not gonna remember what this is anyway.
Yeah, but you just tell somebody who will.
I know.
And then they can tell you the story later.
Mhm.
Yeah. Somebody that you trust will tell you the story later.
Hmm.
And this
Someone
is
who can
any
remember it all.
information in the world. Everything that is
it's hard.
known is in her library. As you're all waiting, she waves her hand and you see a tiny unseen servant bring over a chess set and place it at the table. She gestures to Sir Yurik.
Sure.
She angles it and, gestures for you to sit right beside her. and just starts playing with you.
Okay, the people who haven't asked yet are Dorzen, Yorick, Ace, and Canaron.
Krista and Jimmy are the only ones that have asked anything. The two wee folk know what they're after.
And Magnus.
Magum. But he doesn't, Ignore him, it's fine. Lanto Carvin probably means nothing.
Yeah, he's trying to learn how to carve a lantern, It's for Halloween.
It's just hard to narrow it down to one thing.
Well, in that case, I do have a question. I've been debating which one, but I would like to know more about my birth parents.
He smiles and points. For you, a hallway appears. At the end of it, you should find your book.
Thank you so much.
Now, for everybody who's still seated here, his hallway is very long. Very long hallway. You don't see the end.
And of course, Ace heads off.
As she's playing a game with you, Sir Yurik.
Mm-hmm.
How is your family?
I think they're well.
And Bastion, is he being treated properly?
Oh yes, I should think so.
Good. You seem to gotten a little worse at this game.
Worse? Well, I guess I'm out of practice a bit. Traveling a lot and things.
You should take more time to relax. Just here and there.
Well, I suppose.
Doesn't hurt. Maybe teach somebody, one of your companions how to play.
Sure. Yeah, that's. If anyone's interested.
He gestures. Anybody like to play? As the two of you are contemplating your existences. Just
I have a throwaway question. I can't think of anything, but I can find that out later.
You know what? I think I do know what Canaron would ask. I think I might know. If possible, a list and locations of those who could use guidance from our organization. Those who can help in keeping you and others safe.
could show you the globe. But as for people who your organization is after, I've already answered this question to your predecessor. They know and they are guiding you.
Well, I'm glad to know I'm not the only one here, then.
Many of you have traveled here. It is a place that has to be sought, not simply stumbled upon.
Then I shall think of another. Thank you, There goes that idea.
Well, I suppose I have I'm not sure how generic this may seem. Well, I'd like to know how to best make the world a better place.
She leans back in her chair. You mean how you can make...
Well, yes. Or how to help facilitate making it a better place.
My first suggestion is don't delegate it to somebody else. And she gestures, and you watch as an incredibly long, the longest hallway yet, appears. You can skip over the first few racks if you wish. Most of them are how to cut down on pollution.
Alright, now it's becoming a competition. Who can get the longest row?
Technically, I think Jimmy already won that one. Why are the gods selfish? Yeah, that's the longest one.
Because they're people.
I should have asked how to find good servants these days.
He points at the door. So, Yorick, do you end your game and start?
Well, I'm going to finish the game with her before I head down.
Oh, okay. She'll
Something
finish the
polite.
game in 2 turns.
All right.
You're playing against the goddess of knowledge. She's letting you play the game.
Yeah, she's cheating.
Sure.
Trickster God would be.
Yeah, it's not like Ioun has an intelligence score of 40. It's...
Hey, it's not cheating if she just knows all of the famous strategies.
Well, if she knows what I'm going to do, then.
She's not omnipotent. She's acknowledged it. However, Krissa and Jimmy, you two are both researching the same area. Krissa, you did hear Jimmy's question and his rebuke of a question after that. I would like both of you to roll me investigations, unless one is assisting the other.
My investigation's fairly good, but my
You-
rolls tend to be really bad.
Let's just go with you both investigate. Are you flashing your genius, Jimmy?
I will decide before I know what Prissa rolls. I will flash my genius on Prissa because I feel upset right now in my judgment. Hey, I picked the right.
You've chosen wisely.
So
Yeah,
Prissa
got it
32.
right. So I'm helping Prissa.
All right. So as you're kind of walking through here, Prissa, Jimmy seems to be like looking at a few books, but is very distracted and disgruntled. And as your mage hand just like reads the
He's
spine,
leaving the books like on the floor and not even caring to like put them back in a proper order too. So
your mage hand is just flying over, picking it up, putting it down, picking over another one, putting it down. Prissa, you've never felt at home anywhere quite like this. I mean, it's nothing but books everywhere, and you can just read them. Dual wielding mage hands. Mine.
Versus cross hacking.
And as you
He's hacking
gather,
the planet.
as you're gathering them together, you're also reading through them, one or two at a time, trying to find out what it is that you were. And you will be probably successful with a 32, in all honesty. So, although it is going to take you the evening to get all of the information, I will give it to you at the end or next session for you to give
What if,
them.
what if I cast haste on myself? No, I'm kidding.
Then you wasted a whole act. Honorath, towards.
I have 2 ideas.
This is a library of known knowledge.
All
Right.
known knowledge.
Right, and since this has never been done before, I can't ask what's going to happen to me when it finishes, if it works.
You could certainly try. She's not a fae. She's not tricking you. She's
I
saying,
know.
ask me what you want, and if you ask something else, she's just going to tell you, maybe try something else. Like,
Okay, thank you.
like she just did with Conrath, instead of saying, here's a globe, all of them. Like,
So far, out of all the gods we met, which I think is only 2, honestly, like she's the coolest.
Hey now.
she's a grandma. Grandma
I mean,
is the
coolest as in, like,
coolest.
I mean, like in terms of understanding and helping and stuff, rather than being super vague.
Well, yeah.
It's her entire thing. Don't be vague. Speak your mind. Like,
I have 2 ideas for questions.
both. I can help you with either.
The first one that comes to mind is the answer to the question that I don't know I need to ask. And the second is the history of Diamok.
But with a
Then the one that I don't know I need to ask. Because that's the best one to. Like, the answer to the question you yourself don't realize you need answered.
That is
yeah,
such a
but
cheat code.
okay, but also she's not omnipotent. She doesn't know everything.
Right.
Knows everything that is known. And what you need to know is not known, so it doesn't work.
Then it would
Like-
be Diamok. Then it would be Diamok.
All right, all right.
Since if I'm going down the path of wearing her wraps, the fact that apparently what I know is not enough, that I should learn more.
She gestures in the same direction that Ace is currently walking.
I'll head that way.
All right. You catch up to him within 6 or so strides. Ace, Conrath is really fast. Not, he's Goliath size, but his legs are definitely giant size.
Just picture these long legs and a stubby little body.
She leans back in her chair, looks at you, Dor. You may be selfish with your question. Not looked down upon.
What will happen if this succeeds?
One of 2 things. Dorzen is lost. As an idea, as a... You become what Vorvik was meant to be. So, that is only if the Queen wishes that, as the last 2 threads can only be pulled by her. The other is, you learn from him. You learn his motivations, his thoughts, feelings. You react to it how you do. I can't say I'm upset at what he is doing. Disappointed in it. But Vorvik loves someone. As I know, love is a powerful intoxicant. Charm. Don't know how you would be if you were in love with someone. May I ask you something?
Of course.
I had the queen place my eye before you left her domain on you. It was the only way I could see into that chamber. How were you strong enough not to kill him? I know
Okay,
you're strong, Dorzen. I know you want to do the right thing, but you chose mortality over heritage. You chose right from wrong.
Because when I drowned an elf, no, it was a
Gnome.
halfling.
It was a
No.
gnome. It was Gnome's Town. Place you will never reach.
Yep.
Hey guys, after we do this, I have a great place idea for where we should visit.
Oh no, there's another calamity. Huge crater. But continue, Dorset.
Oh god, it's like the
That's where
gods
one shot will
themselves
take place.
destroyed
Okay.
town.
What were you saying, Dorzen?
I was just saying that's where the one shot will take place if it happens. Anyway. When I killed that gnome, I was not happy with what I did. My whole family was laughing, proud of me, and I didn't understand why. Perhaps that's why I stayed here. When I looked at him, bound in chains, after going against everything I asked him to do, it wasn't so much as I chose right from wrong. It is I chose to cut off a part of my life that no longer should influence me.
Nuts. See her touch. I can tell it's there. I can't say her taste in men is impeccable, but you seem to be a good one.
Wow, slight on Vaxel Dawn, everybody, by the knowing mistress.
Vorvik. Like,
Hey, Vax was a champion too, technically.
yeah, but like that's 50-50. That's not really,
Yeah, he was being like, you look so lonely. I'll give you company or something. Yeah.
If I may be so bold. When I talked to Vorvik, he seemed trying to Trying to phrase this. He seemed that despite his actions, he was the one betrayed. At least that's what he said and how he felt. I honestly don't know how to feel about him.
Everybody's truth is their own. He was meant to stay by her side forever. Even before she ascended to her status, severing her ties to mortality, being an outside influence observer to. They were meant to be. Her predecessor said it himself. I may not speak his. Been removed from all of my records. But he knew this. Borderic and her both knew it, but she chose everybody else over herself. That is one thing the other gods never realized. She gave up being immortal. She relinquished happiness, love, put it. She looks down the hallway where you see Jimmy is kind of just haphazardly throwing books over his shoulder after looking through them a little bit. He's not wrong. Us gods, we are very selfish. We all want something for ourselves. Though I can say without a shadow of a doubt, if there was ever a god who cared for everybody for no other reason than they wanted to, it'd be her. You gave up your previous life for this one. She gave up hers. I believe I am selfish. I have to write that down.
Would you mind showing me how this is played? I gesture to the chess set.
And she will teach you how to play chess.
Yay. I won't remember any of it.
Yeah.
Muscle memory, muscle memory.
Even with the headband, I will not remember.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
why
an
I'm saying
Ioun
muscle.
stone. It's a headband of intellect.
That's why I'm saying muscle, you know? You're strong. You can do it with muscles.
Flex on the board, that's all. Ready? So, we'll begin with the first of you to come across your answer. Ace.
Yes.
You make it to the end of this hallway, where it branches off in two directions, and Konaroth looks to the left and you look to the right, as you see that there are two books seated on podium. Each one of them is titled The Origin of, your names respectively.
Ace is gonna take a deep breath and move to the podium where the book is and hesitate just a moment before opening it. And then he'll open it and start reading.
Roll me an investigation, Ace. Conarath, you're looking down at your book.
I would open it and investigate it to try and learn more about Diamok and she who gave the wraps on my hands right now. Come on. A 2! Again! Son of a...
Sorry.
Is knowledge not meant for your eyes?
It's a good book. It just doesn't.
It doesn't sit well with you. It's uncomfortable because it says it's your origin, but it starts with her story. So, Ace,
Yes.
Damn it.
you begin reading through. There is a beautiful man who travels around the world, seeing sights that are beyond comprehension and beauty, seeking them out everywhere, falling in love at every single town. No matter how simple or luxurious a life it is, he seems to glean the beauty behind somebody's essence and falls in love and falls into heartbreak over and over and over. This man is your father. He's not a playboy like people would presume, just somebody who loves love. He always wants to be in it, no matter what it is and no matter how painful it is when he falls out. And from one town to another, he meets different beautiful people. The next chapter is about a woman who seemed to leave some type of monastery. A scholastical group of individuals who research different aspects of the world and harbor information within their own limitation to keep safe from people who would destroy it, but ensure that it would be passed along to whoever needs it. She was kicked out of this place, them believing that she was too reckless in her action, too zealous in her attacks and pursuit. Then seemed to stumble upon that love-struck man off the shores of Wildmount. Him just coming over the seas from Marquette and her just traveling southwards from wherever she came from previously. He seemed more infatuated with her than she was. She really didn't seem to care about him at all. He was ostentatious, flamboyant, and in her experience, that means pitiful. And people who use their personality instead of their intellect, instead of their brawn, anything else, as a mask to seem greater than they are. Well, she had nowhere else to go, and she was just hanging around town, picking up odd and end jobs, and he seemed to always appear by whatever tavern she would change to, with a bouquet of flowers, a nice little treat for her, maybe some chocolates or candies or something else. And every single day, she would shove the flowers back in his face and away. He didn't seem to mind. He even told her, "I know that you don't want this, but I'm in love with you. Not going to change. You and I are going to do something great." And one day, a massive storm brew in across the Menagerie Coast. It started decimating ships, businesses, buildings. And as the Celezo were running around trying to get everybody to the safe quarters of the guard stations or different houses that were more fortified from nobles, the two of them stumbled upon each other out inside of the storm. The man seemed to be trying to lift a large boat that seemed to subside on top of an individual's leg. while she was starting to shove people in the proper direction and fend off against some sea folk that seemed to be in the spurs of this attack. Now, as they were going through all of this, she saw something inside of him. Not just weakness because of his words, but belief in what he always said. There's beauty in every situation and in everybody, and he wants to see that. He wants the world to experience it. And they started being one of the only people in the town to fend it off from the attack and storm that was happening. So, after that evening, they spent many weeks together. And you kind of skim past this the next few pages because it goes into too many details, and you're folks, so 1, 2, 3 done. However, your mother wakes up one morning, and all that she has left is a folded, perfectly beautiful note, drawn upon, etched, and calligraphy written by said, "I knew you and I were meant to do something beautiful. Thank you for everything. Thank you for showing me beauty and love. However, my heart belongs to somebody else. Somebody that I can never obtain, but through different stories and tales across the world. I will always think of you. I will always remember you. When you look up at our moon, though she hides in the shadows, you will know that I'm looking upon it too." You read that she was not upset at this, as she realized the two of them followed the same passage, though in different light, where one would zealously fight to bring knowledge to the surface for one would pursue it no matter where he went, and spread it across the world, knowing that they had to keep moving, but unknowing that that was the night you were... Sorry, the week. That's about as far as you can get in before the evening is over.
Ace just kind of smiles and little teary-eyed and bookmarks the book with a piece of paper and closes it.
Tanaroth. Diamok was the creator of an organization of monks called the Monks of the Cobalt Soul. She was the one who first dedicated her life and her family serving the knowing mystery, though she quickly realized that in her pursuits, they were wrong in how to work. They were bringing the information to themselves and secluding it under the guise of protection, when really what they were doing was monopolizing it. Yes, the information had to be protected, but it had to be protected by people who wielded it, not by people who knew where it was stashed. One night, while she was trying to find a lost tome, she traveled across the mountain ranges to an unknown land, where she stumbled upon a individual who seemed to be studying different types of magic. A way to strengthen people to the point that they can defend themselves. They can defend others. And mundane creatures become non-threats. Diamok took this opportunity to learn from him, experiment. And this individual, through deception, lies, turned her into the first lycanthrope this world had known. When she came back to Cobalt Soul, they shunned her, realizing that she no longer possessed the strength to think clearly as she once did, to not react to hostility, as they all know. And though she was the founder, she was kicked out. Over the next 10 years, she went from town to town, when in control of herself, telling the folks that lived here to mark your doors with red. And in the night, I will seek those that oppress you. And every single evening when she lost control, her seeing the red on the doors, the instinct in the beast said everything in there is already dead. So she kept moving, controlling it in her own way, and murdering every single person in her path. Though this was not a plan without flaw. Sometimes people forgot to mark their doors properly. Sometimes people didn't keep control or good enough control over their children in these situations. And sometimes she couldn't tell and warn everybody to hide. But over the next 10 years, as blood rained down on her hand, she figured out how to control herself. Control the beast inside of her. And she started realizing that along her path, she was spreading her curse. Some people that she didn't kill. And instead of losing control once again and besting them in a way that she easily could, she decided to take them in. Create a very, very large and secluded mountain range. A monastery hidden away from everybody and everything. Where people could freely be what she... on accident. Where she trained them how to be stronger, how to fortify their minds, how to be quick. She quickly realized that she could not possibly keep track of all of them. Every single being that she had turned. And as a curse from a deity from a further away land, she was made to never forget the bloodshed that she caused this world. Because she could not listen to the guidance that those wiser than her tried giving her. She unleashed an attack that was devastating this world. A plague of cursed creatures that to this day your monastery is still trying to clean up the aftermath. She pleaded as best as she could to this faraway creature. And the creature refused to help her. Refused to accept that she wanted to help make things right again. Thinking she would just be naive and mess it up again. So, with no other option, she sought out Knowing Mistress. And made the exact same plea that she did to that foreign entity. The mistress accepted that she would help her. Though the curse cannot be relinquished, she can pass it on to a different object. So that everybody who follows in her path will remember the bloodshed forever that was laid by Diama. And until the last Lycan is removed from this plane as a threat, or tamed to know how to control themselves, these raps will continue to bleed. Though the Knowing Mistress imbued with her the knowledge that she has passed down from generation to generation of how to track them, how to find them, and how to save them. Not just kill them, save them. Diamok has passed that information down. And that is the start of your story, as this is where you've ended up. Now, that is all you could find out before evening. And I think this is a good enough place for us to end the session for today. We will have a lot more information to go through for the other 4 players. Players, thank you for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching, and I hope everybody had a good time. See you around.